Thank you very much. Welcome and good morning to all 176 persons online. Welcome and happy to have you with us. All right, just want to speak very quickly about the background and the objectives of this National Investor Education Week. This is our 14th year, and it's a planned week of activities that is designed to assist the public in raising the awareness about the importance of investor education and the protection covered by the securities regulations. Faced with the pandemic, such as this coronavirus, we are all forced to find new ways from our normal approach to continue our activities. The evergreen song, "Into Each Life Some Rain Must Fall," tells a tale of resilience. That while we cannot control just how much it rains, the decision is ours to allow ourselves to get wet or break out the umbrella. The rain, of course, is the challenging times that we face. We can now take this approach of preparedness into a lifestyle of consciousness of savings and investments, as the Jamaica Stock Exchange is bringing to the public the knowledge, skills to assist persons to achieve their financial goals in this challenging, fair weather environment. We started in 2007. This is year number 14, with the mandate really to educate the population on the importance of savings and investments as the way to wealth creation. We have recognized that investment and financial knowledge literate generally make better savings, investments, and personal decisions. Interestingly, David, the World Literacy Index, and this I assume to be the World Financial Literacy Index, ranks Jamaica at number 81 with a 33% financial literacy rate. The US is at 14%, at number 14 with a 57% rate. So our objective, we're not doing badly, but our objective really is to close that gap and create more financial literacy. In this week, we are playing our part to encourage the very important principles of and the decision making to all possible market participants, young, old, and in between. So it's basically to educate the entire demographic about the importance of literacy, the products and services. Investment is no longer taboo. This is something that is available to everyone. It's just about, the onus is on us to distribute the information and to increase participation. So during this week so far, we will continue during this week to learn about how to build generational wealth, understanding of why generational wealth is important, the benefits of sound savings and investments in the stock market, the power of diversification into multiple sectors through the stock market, the knowledge of products and services in this and other markets, access to conversations with the experts, and the power of building wealth incrementally by investing in your children's education and education in finance from an early age. It's all about patience and it's all about consistency. So this week on Saturday, we had our church service at UCC Seventh-day Adventist Church. On Monday, we had a whole session on our afternoon radio station. Yesterday, of course, was National Youth Forum, and that was very exciting. Myself, I was also a presenter, as was David Geddes, and it was very inspiring and a lot of very good information. Today now is the big day. Today, we have topics on the agenda such as buying and selling shares for beginners, how to repair your credit if you got yourself into a compromising position with your credit, managing your portfolio during challenging times such as this COVID-19 situation, turning your salary into wealth, regulating and protecting the market, how the transparency and efficiency operates, protecting your deposits in difficult times. Investing in knowledge, paying great dividends, and of course, engineering changes in bureaucracy, making government more efficient as an investment vehicle. So, as you can see, we have a full range of activities lined up for today. Tomorrow now, we will be in a conversation with the diaspora. The Jamaica Stock Exchange, we realize that the diaspora needs the information on the products and services that are available in Jamaica through trustworthy services. Under normal circumstances, David, you know that annually the Jamaica Stock Exchange Group and the brokerage community will be making trips to the diaspora, Canada, US, UK, South Florida particularly, and northeastern US. And when we come back, all the brokers that travel with us come back with a book of business every single year. Of course, since last year we haven't gone, but we have continued the outreach and the business is still growing. So our partners will offer financial and non-financial advice on the same generational wealth and how we can build it. And the discussion will dive into, how you can stay from overseas, engage the diaspora in meaningful dialogue in order to have significant investments of the diaspora to continue to flow into the country for economic growth and development, for their own wealth building and diversification. So that will be tomorrow. And then on Friday, the Jamaica Social Stock Exchange will be highlighted. The JSSE is an important platform to develop the social sector in the country. So we're not just focusing on financial health, David, but also social health and development as well. The projects chosen for funding by the Jamaica Social Stock Exchange will allow social capital to build up the necessary changes to foster growth among all the demographics. And it will show persons that collaborative efforts can lead to lasting development and impacting having transformational impact on lives. So we're talking about, in that regard, projects listed on the Jamaica Social Stock Exchange and projects seeking to be listed will require the support of the investing community generally. And what we will be doing is using the same JSSE platform that monitors and manages listed companies on the markets, the main market, the junior market, etc., and apply that same principle to social investments so that we'll attract long-term investors investing in projects, and the projects will be reporting regularly to the investors on the progress that they have made, how the funds have been allocated, and how they are progressing with their social development, people development, and general environmental health. So on Friday, that will be the main feature. And I encourage everybody to participate in all the events today, sign on and join in the discussion tomorrow with the diaspora. And certainly, we look forward to hearing from you on Friday as well. Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. I hope everybody will have an enjoyable day. And thank you for joining us on this mission.
Thank you so much, Mr. Andre Gooden, the Group Business Development Manager at the Jamaica Stock Exchange, and certainly putting things in context for today and the week, National Investor Education Week. Now, I'm sure many of us have always wondered about how do you buy, how do you sell shares. It's very important for wealth creation. But there's also that added ingredient, which is the whole issue of how do you do that during COVID-19? Now, Ms. Shelly Ann Morgan, who is the Manager Investment Services at Sagicor Investments Jamaica, is going to be presenting on how to buy and sell shares during COVID-19. Shelly Ann has been with the Sagicor family since 2007. She started as a senior investment advisor with Pan-Caribbean Financial Services, now Sagicor Investments Jamaica Limited. She has over 10 years experience in this financial services industry. She has led the investment client services team for the Kingston metropolitan area. She oversees the branch sales and operations across the branch network for the region. Shelly Ann worked very hard and is the recipient of an MBA from the Florida International University and also received a bachelor's from the University of Technology. She is committed to volunteering and she does many of those activities through the Sagicor Foundation. Now let's give a huge virtual welcome to Ms. Shelly Ann Morgan, Manager Investment Services, Sagicor Investments, Jamaica. Welcome, Shelly.
Good morning, panelists. Good morning, persons in the audience. It is a pleasure to be here with you and to be speaking on how to buy and sell shares during COVID-19. I am going to share my screen with you. Okay, so first and foremost, most persons think that it is so hard to buy and sell shares. And I'm here to just debunk that myth and say it is actually quite simple and something that everyone should be able to do, right? And just because we're speaking about shares and stocks, I just want to just put a definition out there just in case that we have anyone there who might still not be familiar. Today I'm speaking from a beginner level and I don't want to leave anyone out in the cold. So really what it is, it's just you trying to participate in the ownership of a company, right? And it gives you a claim on the company's assets and their earnings. And pretty much what you want to do, you want to be able to share in the company's profits. Most persons normally stop there, but it's a partnership. And as you share in the profits, there is some risk and there might be a time that you may also have to share in the company's loss, right? So all we're saying is some tips that you really want to consider. So I'm going to stress today and encourage you to all start by getting the facts. And we know how we can be, how humans are. We all think we know everything. And sometimes we make some assumptions that are can be far-reaching and serve also to make the process be a little bit more cumbersome than it should be. Because like I said, it is very simple. So what you really want to do firstly is to know that you need a brokerage account, a stock brokerage account. If you don't have one already, then you need to get one. And you can get set up in really a short space of time. For some people, it can be as quickly as in a matter of minutes. It can be within hours. It can be a day or days. It really is dependent on how quickly you can satisfy the brokers or the investment brokers like a Sagicor on their account opening policies. And everywhere you go, there are always rules and regulation, and it's no different at an investment brokerage house. All right. So you need a brokerage account, and for you to get that, there normally is an account opening process. Usually that is online for some people, and it certainly is online for Sagicor, or you can always telephone in or go on the website. Once you do that, then it's just for you to decide on how you are going to fund your account and then to select to buy your stocks. Now, funding, especially during COVID-19, you are seeing where lots of persons are encouraging persons to use alternative forms of banking or investments, even in other spheres of the country, where we're encouraging persons to try the online process, check before you come in, make an appointment, things like that. So ensure that you check what the options are, whether you need to go in branch to make a deposit, to have the cash deposited to your account before you can trade, or if you can do an electronic transfer. All right. Now at Sagicor, you are able to do both. You can choose to come in and make that deposit, you take cash or check, as well as you can do electronic funds transfer once you have an account open. Now that part, like I said, can be done within minutes, hours, a day. We're still speaking about what you should do before you decide to buy or sell stocks. Now, research. Research is the very important part. It's akin to preparation, lots of planning, but again, it's also not hard. And we're encouraging you to keep it simple because today we're speaking about at a beginner stage. Now, do the research. You can do it by yourself. You can get help from your broker. You can get help from someone who you trust, but ensure that you have a why. You have a reason. The companies, I mean, when you're buying stock, you're actually buying shares into a company. So who are these companies that you will be considering to buy into? And they are all around us. And there are lots of ways that you can get this information. Now, again, we're in COVID, so you can choose to do it very manual, or you can choose to be searching online. There are lots of options. There is the daily newspapers. I don't buy any other paper. I like a Sunday, Wednesday, and a Friday paper. Lots of information is there on the companies that you want. And there are lots of information, lots of analysis, lots of charts, but I don't want you to get overwhelmed with that. Keep it simple, right? Sometimes you want to choose companies that you already have an interest in, companies that you use their services already, companies that you are using their products, right? It could be something you could start where there is management or the managers or the leaders of the company that you resonate with, you like their style, you like the decisions that they have made, where they are coming from, their history. Things like that can help to drive your research and drive where you choose to spend that money in terms of what stock you are going to buy, hold, or sell. No, there's no investment that doesn't come with risk, right? And there are ways that you can protect yourself by to reduce the risk. So you can choose to buy companies that probably are more value based, companies that probably have a larger impact on the country, companies that you consider to have, can I say, a lower, I don't want to get too technical, a lower price or price to earning ratio. I mean, there are different ways that you can choose. You can choose to buy a stock and then you say, I'm going to keep this stock for medium to long term, for 5 to 10 years. You're going to buy a stock that resonates with children, resonates with food, resonates with a service. There are lots of ways to manage that risk. You are going to be buying fairly consistently and keeping that stock over the long term. And again, we spoke about information. I spoke about the dailies. And in the dailies, you will find dividend information. You want to know how often the companies share a portion of their wealth with you and what is that payment ratio. Now, we have lots of information that you can find online as well. You can start by even going to Jamaica Stock Exchange. You have the company reports are there. Companies are mandated to make filings. So there are quarterly filings that you can find also on the company's website, in their quarterly reports, their annual reports. You can find them on different websites, their podcasts, their webinars and forums like these. There are lots of places that you can get your research on, and that should also catapult your buying and selling decision when it comes on to investing in stocks. Now, after you have done that, you still have some more work to do because you have to decide, right? You have to decide on where you are going to choose to house that stock. You want to choose a broker, and we have lots of brokers in Jamaica, all licensed and regulated, who are able to assist you and guide you and offer any of these stocks that are listed on the Jamaica Stock Exchange that you can buy. And then the company, right? Which company are you going to choose? After you've done all of that research, you want to decide where are you going to, what are you going to buy? So you can always, I spoke about the annual reports, you can always go there and look, especially at that section where they have note to shareholders, where it gives you a read guide into what the company's plan, is, has been, will be. That kind of decision and information helps to guide you on, where the growth is going to be taken. There's also, can guide you also from the government side in terms of the information there. And then you also have to decide, especially in COVID, if you want your trades to be broker assisted or you want them to be online. And at Sagicor, you are able to get both as well. So you are able to choose if you want the brokers to handle most of this for you, or you know what, you are capable and you want to do more. You can, from the comfort of your home, on your bed, you want to do your own trades yourself. And all of these are available for you, and you should definitely consider them. And then you definitely want to get that help. If it's available there, you want to make your life easier, and that's what brokers are here for, right? We are here to assist you, and we put that information out through normally on our website, through the published information and articles that are placed there. The Jamaica Stock Exchange also does a fabulous job with that. The companies themselves do that, and you can always go and get that information so that you can stick with whatever plan that you'd have decided on. Because in investments, like everything else, like stock, it takes time. There's really no get rich quick scheme. And I always encourage my investors to spend time at it. Like anything else, spend some time at it. The longer you do it, the better you become at it. There's lots of growth and earnings that you can make on your investment. It needs some time. No, we have an option at Sagicor or Investor Core website, which provides with a lot of information in terms of buying and selling stocks. It assists you in getting you up to speed, especially if you are a beginner. It helps in terms of analyzing your profile, your personality profile. You will hear lots of persons speak about your risk tolerance. What's your risk profile? Now we have a personality quiz on the website that assists you in that and will also aid in terms of decisions, the who, the where, the how, and what you are going to buy. There's also another option, the core tracker, that helps you to track the portfolio, track your gains, track your losses, if any, track the opportunities that are there. Because sometimes when there is what we call a loss, an unrealized loss, you find that there are opportunities there that you need to take advantage of, which will help to steer and rebalance your portfolio for regrowth or growth in the next 3 months, 6 months, a year, or onwards. Lots of information is there in our investment glossary. This is information, local, regional, world-leading information there. And if you are a beginner, you definitely want to know. There are some terms there that you might not be familiar with that you think are really like, big technical terms. And then you will just see all the explanation there for you. And sometimes you'll also have something, a link that will take you somewhere else if you want additional reading. Budget calculator. Now, no matter what it is that you are looking to invest in, you always need to know how much you can spend, right? And when you can spend it. So there's an excellent tool there as well on our Investor Core that you can choose your budget calculator to help to, I would say to help to control your spending so that you can save more. Now, I would have mentioned before about you can do either broker assisted or online trading. And if you're going to be doing online trading, then there are options there for you. And here I'd like to tell you how we can go about doing it. Okay, did I say it was easy? It really is easy. It's just as what is was shared just now. And might I add that all the forms needed to sign up for a stock brokerage account, which you'll need before you can have you can trade, buy or sell shares, is also found on our website. And if you choose to do online trading, then it's very simple. You actually pay less by doing online trading than by doing broker assisted trades. So like I said, it is much easier than you think. It's far more convenient and it is very simple to get started on buying or selling stocks. We are here to help you. Now, I would have shared earlier about doing your research. And of course, I always encourage clients to get vested, be invested, because although brokers are here to assist and this is our area of expertise, you are the one making that investment. Whether it's a large investment or it's a small investment, it is an investment and should be important to you. So you should definitely do your own research and definitely go on and get the facts. But we are here to help and we have lots of information that we would have carefully prepared and organized in a manner that is simple and convenient for you, especially if you are a beginner. And you can get this information at investorcore.sagicorjamaica.com. And to tell a little bit more about that, right? So InvestorCore website was created to provide information for the Jamaican population, person in the region, because out of discussions we found that persons were not comfortable or thought that it was tedious to get started on investing. Now, on our website, you will find where there are some really nice blogs, some articles that are placed there. And these are in different formats. They're filtered in formats. So if you are a reader, you prefer articles, these blogs, you can filter by articles and they will come up. Okay, fine. So you don't like reading, you prefer to listen, you can multitask. Then there are podcasts there that you can actually listen to as well. The information is also found in Twitter threads and in videos, and they're actually there. Now, if you were to go to the website right now, you would actually see articles on stock bonuses and stock splits, which persons sometimes wonder what it is that we're speaking about. It's right there. You can find diversification, articles on diversification as an investment strategy. And as a beginner investor, beginner stock trader, whether you're buying or selling, you definitely want to know how to diversify. What is the strategy? And along with the personality profile quiz I spoke about, the budget calculator, all these are there to assist you. You want to get an introduction to ordinary shares, which is pretty much what we are speaking about today. How do you go about that? You want to know how do you select shares? How do you buy and sell shares? That is what we're speaking about. It's actually right there. And there are different ways. There is no one way that you can choose. Can I say no one factor that you can zero in on? There are different factors and things like financial health of the company, right? Is the company financially strong? Is the stock that you are interested in, financially strong? Is it profitable? What about the company's cash flow or their balance sheet, And whether the company is strong or not, you can get this information from their cash flows, from their balance sheet. What about the economic conditions? That is also another area that you should focus on when you're choosing to buy or sell shares. The fact of the matter is that economic conditions and government policies also play a large part in how the market moves the behavior of the companies. Now we're in a pandemic and there are lots of stocks, lots of companies that are vibrant. They had strong balance sheets. They had very good cash flows. They were profitable and yet still they may not be performing or they are underperforming since last year because of the pandemic. So you definitely want to look at those things, right? Because they can affect the company's performance, not just, the demand, but also the economic conditions and government policy. I mean, another big thing that you should definitely consider is the human element. Demand and supply is also very important. Like and dislike, those can swing a company's performance. Perception is very important. So you also want to look at those. So like I say, go to the investorcore.sagicorjamaica.com website. The information is there. I can definitely help you in getting started with information on the benefits of owning ordinary shares, the difference between trading and investing. There's so much information that is there at your fingertips that you can use. Okay, so I would have just shared with you very simply. It was done in a way that, I mean, everybody would be able to, in a real way, grasp how it is that you want to get started. Just giving you a few steps as to how you can get there and where you can find help. And I do think that this would be sufficient for you to get started on a successful portfolio.
Thank you so much, Ms. Shelly and Morgan, Manager Investment Services at Sagicor Investments. We hear that she's referred to as the Shellyan of investing services. Thank you so much for that very interesting and informative presentation. We got a lot of virtual Dutch pots banging in the chat room, and we also have some questions in the chat room. Let me take two of the most prevalent ones that seem to be creating a little bit of a stir. You're being asked to give some additional information on the PE ratio. And then also, the second one is there really a special part of the annual report that beginners could focus on rather than reading the entire book document for several companies?
So yes, like I said, normally the very first, the part that says note to shareholders is a good place to start. You can also, the comments, the managers' notes, the comments that they're sharing, their expansion plans, you can definitely go there. There's always information there. Normally it's captured in charts and pictures, and I have found where it is more palatable. It is now much easier for everyone to understand. Some companies are doing them on disk, right? If you look at the AGMs now, they are online, so more persons are also able to get access to this information. So like I was saying earlier, out of everything that may be considered bad, there's also an opportunity. So here is that we have far more access, and it's because of COVID-19, where you are able to get far more information at your fingertips in terms of that. So like I said, a note to shareholder, normally the very first part, and it's not normally very, very long. And normally you would have some report being given by the managing partner, the managing director, somebody like that who will be there sharing that information. It takes some time though, and like I said, you have to be invested, right? You really have to be invested, and most persons sometimes just want to skim, and we don't want to take the time. So at the very least, if not all the time, when you are just getting started right now, it's always good to just go through it and just highlight, make those notes that are important to you, and then you can move on. So remember I was saying that you have to be vested. So if not for everybody, then choose a company that you really are, close to, you're very interested in, and you can go on and do that research. I also saw a question here about, sorry, if you can invest in USA stock market by Sagicor. We also do local and US dollar trades. So yes, if you're interested, we are able to assist you with that.
Thank you so much, Shelly. And somebody was asking if you're outside of Jamaica, say in Barbados, if it is if you can link up with Sagicor and invest on the local stock market.
Definitely you can. We have regional offices in Barbados, and I would have shared with that all our account opening forms needed to open a stock brokerage account is also found online. So you can complete the forms online. You can reach out to us via our toll-free line, 888 Sagicor. You can go online, sagicor.com. We have the options there where you can email, you can do a live chat, and you can also get in touch with us. And then, but the forms would have to be sent to us since you are out of the country.
Okay, thank you so much, Shelly Ann Morgan, Manager Investment Services, Sagicor Investments, Jamaica. Great presentation, a lot of discussion going on in the chat room, but a very informative presentation. Thank you so much.